Hello everybody, welcome back to Mr. Marlowe's 6th grade math class. This is lesson 2 of our module 6 on statistics. This lesson title is Distributions and Dot Plots. Okay, so our targets for today are I can interpret data on a dot plot, and we're going to go over what a dot plot means, or what a dot plot is. And I can identify the minimum, maximum, and range and approximate center of the data. Okay? So let's take a look at an example, all right, of some data, and I'm going to show you what a dot plot is, why a dot plot is useful for looking at and interpreting data and organizing data. All right, so here is data for the heart rate. Here's the data of heart rates from a 6th grade class. Okay, so I have all these heart rates right here, and this is from a 6th grade class. All right, we got like 89, 87, 85, 84, 90, 79, 83. They're kind of all generally in the same area, but they're all different, right? Okay, so what patterns do you see here? Do you notice any patterns in this data? Take a second to think about that. Pause the video if you need to. Okay. Well, maybe you don't, because this to me looks pretty confusing. So what if we ordered the data from the least value to the greatest value? Okay. Well, now I see 79, 81, 82, 82 again, 83, 83, 83, 83. Well, that's getting kind of interesting, right? 84, 84, 84, 85, 85, 85, 86, 86, 86, 87, 88, 88, 89, 90. Right, so all I did is I took this data from up here and I arranged it from least to greatest, right? That's all I did. So you may notice that 83 occurs more than any other number, and that 79 is the least number and 90 is the greatest. Okay, so another way, because this is still not totally clear, but another way we can look at data is to make it into a dot plot. And this is a dot plot. All it is here's my number line right here, right? And the number line is counts by twos, 78, 80, 82, 84, 86, 88, 90. So we can infer that if the dot falls in between these two numbers, that's an odd number, like 79, 81, 83, 85, 87, right? 89, okay? And all I did is I took this data, I made a number line that encompasses roughly my data range, okay? And then for every piece of data, I put a dot. So, as you can see, there's 179, right? There is no 80, but there is 181, and there are two 82s, so there are two dots. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 83s. There are 4 students that have a heart rate of 83, so I put 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. Okay, so all this is a way to visualize data, right? And it becomes easier for us to identify things like minimum, maximum, range, approximate center, right? And it becomes easier for us to like interpret this information right here that we collected about heart rates. So looking at a dot plot gives you a different perspective on data, okay? So what do you notice? What do you wonder about when you see that dot plot, right? Are the rates all the same? No, right? We have a bunch of different rates, and they spread out from 88, or I'm sorry, I think 79 to 90, right? Okay. Like, are they sort of clustered in the middle? Yeah, more or less, not perfectly, but the majority of the data is clustered in the middle, right? Or average, which we would sort of suspect or expect, sorry. Another thing you might notice is that the more students have heart rate of 83 beats per minute than any other. So I'm going to have to flip back and forth here, sorry guys. But if I go back to my dot plot here, I notice that students have a heart rate of 83 beats per minute than any other, right? More students have a heart rate of 83 beats per minute than say 84, 82, 85, certainly 80, right? So going back and forth to that graph, where do you think the heart rates tend to center? And why did you choose the number that you did? Okay. So I don't really need you to worry exactly about where the center is right now, but I just want you to think about where the center might be, right? We know that 83 had the most, the majority of students had 83 beats per minute, but is that really the center? Okay. We want to know about the average or medium, but it's not necessary to use that vocabulary just yet. We're going to get to that a little bit later on. And the last thing I want you to think about, right, is the data really tightly clustered together or really spread out or somewhere in between? Okay. So this is the concept of spread or variability. Okay, remember variability from the last lesson, that the information varies. It's not all the same. Okay. So you can think about it like, are most of the heart rates similar, or do they differ a lot or a little from each other? Right? Think about that. Are these heart rates on this dot plot, are they more or less similar? Right? It goes from 79 to 90. Okay. So that's a difference of 11 between 79 and 90. And most of them all of them fall within that category. And if you shrunk this down even more, like with this cluster right here, right, the vast majority of students fall between 82 and 86. Okay, so would you say that this is really tightly clustered, really spread out, or somewhere in between? Okay. So that's it for today. This is distributions and dot plots. Okay, make sure to look out for the second video of this lesson. Our target for today is I can interpret data on a dot plot, and I can identify the minimum, maximum, range, and approximate center of data. Okay. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, you can reach me during my office hours, during morning meetings, on the Remind app, or via email at emarlow@rochesterdiscovery.com.